Alright, so first things first. Um, One, we need points of intersection. And that's going to come from the idea that y is equal to y. So if y is equal to y, what's going to happen with this right here? X squared minus 2x is equal to x plus 4. Now move everything over because it's quadratic, so we want to move everything over and get ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So subtract an x, subtract the 4, I'll put it over there, but I'll change it. X squared minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. Factor this guy. X minus 4 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. So what's my x value from this guy? And my x value from here? Negative 1. Alright, so that's your first step. Your second step is to figure out, and you're going to have graphs on every single problem, so you can actually draw real graphs. I unfortunately don't have that option. At x equals negative 1, instead of putting in this guy, since I know they're equal, negative 1 plus 4 is 3, so at negative 1, 1, 2, 3, there's my point. At x equals 4, I get 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, no, it's 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just use this equation, x equals negative 1, plug it in, negative 1 plus 4 is 3, then 4, and that's an 8, so I'm going to get this. You could plug it into either one. You should get the same answers because they're intersections. Like if I put in a 4, that'd be 16 minus 8, which would be 8. If I put in a 4 here, it'd be 4 plus 4, which is equal to 8. So it works out both ways. So I know it's going to go through there, and it's going to be like this. Now, here's my x squared minus 2x. I know it's here. What is it when x equals 0? 0. What about when x equals 1? What's 1 minus 2? 1 minus 2 is negative 1. When x equals 0, you get a 0. So this parabola is actually doing this. So you got to play around a little bit to figure out exactly what that parabola is going to be, because what do we ultimately need to know? We need to know from where to where are we going, but also for what's top, what's bottom. What value of 2? At 2? Uh, you plug in 2, it's 4 minus 4, which is 0. At 0, 0 minus 0 is 0. At negative 1, that's 1. At negative 1, actually that's 1 plus 2, that's 3. Because I needed to see how the parabola was going to be, if it was above or below.
So you can like any number between -1 and 4.
Yeah. Oh, that's 1. I was thinking -1. Sorry. For some reason, I thought I was plugging in -1. So yeah, I picked these points just because I saw the parabola was below. Because for areas bounded by the curves, the integral is going to be from -1 to 4 of the top curve minus the bottom curve, dx. That's your area between curves, is top minus bottom. You draw your representative rectangle, and what's the top equation? X plus 4. What's the bottom equation? X squared minus 2x. Now, if I wanted to just do top minus bottom, I can do this over to the side instead of doing it in the actual integral. I'll get negative x squared. X plus 2x is plus 3x, and 4 minus 0 is positive 4. So this is going to be -1 to 4 of negative x squared plus 3x plus 4 dx. Now, prior to this, we've been using pi a lot. Why aren't we using pi here? Yeah, because we're not rotating anything. As soon as you rotate something, pi comes into play. Because you're creating a washer or a disc, which has a circle as part of the shape. And, well, we're not rotating anything, so we don't need pi. So all we have to do is integrate this and solve it from 4 to -1. Integrate this. Negative x cubed over 3 plus 3x squared over 2 plus 4x from -1 to 4. At this point, I just so don't want to do any of the math. 4 times 4 times 4, that's 64, so it's minus 64 thirds. That's 16 times 3, what's that, 48 over 2. So, or 8 times 2, which would be plus 24, plus 16. Minus, put the -1 in there, that'd be a -1, that'd be negative, that'd be 1/3. Plus 3 halves, minus 4. That'd be plus, now, I'm going to just kind of do this thing. That's plus 4, because that would be, would you agree that that would be a plus 4? Because I'm subtracting a negative. So this is actually a 20, and I don't have to worry about that. So I know I'm going to get 44 from there. I get negative 64 thirds, but I'm subtracting 1, so that should be a 65 thirds. What, plus 3 halves? And this is just me doing shorthand math. You guys can do it however you want. If you want to just dump it in a calculator, get the answer, it's fine. Put everything over 6, because that's what you need to do. Multiply that by 2, that's negative 130. Multiply that by 6, that's 24. Carry the 2, 24, 26. And multiply that by 3, and that's a 9. So that's 134 plus 9. 143 over 6. 3, 4, 8. 143 over 6. to make sure that I didn't screw it up totally. Because I don't want to rely on my calculator. I want to rely on my ingenuity, which is neither here nor there. The top equation, I'll just do this. Top equation was x plus 4. And that's what's great about the calculator, is you could just type in x plus 4, the top minus the bottom, which is parentheses around that, x squared minus 2x dx. What? I probably just screwed something up somewhere. That's probably my shorthand not working right. I would trust the calculator, but okay. Yeah, that would be a minus 3/2. So that would be minus 9. So instead of, it was 134, 125. Yeah, that it works out. So that should have been minus 9. And so it would be 134 minus 9. So it would be 125 over 6. A little bit of a mistake, but it worked out. Here's the thing, be careful. That's the biggest thing that you should learn from me, is to be careful. See, I tried to do it real quick. What happened when I did it really quick? Crash and burn, right? And it wasn't the calculus that got us. The calculus is just top minus bottom. It's just the math, like the arithmetic part, that got us. And so you have to be careful about the arithmetic part of stuff. Because once you get there, everyone's like, oh, good, I'm in the arithmetic part. Well, be careful. That's all I have to say, is be careful. But I'm glad it worked out.